Hello, everyone. Doing something kind of 10 years ago, sort of thing. But I received a box, hazardous materials supposedly that I wasn't expecting. And I don't know that I did this, but it used to kind of be a thing where you do like a mailbag or, what's arrived, what's new, what's happening in FPV. I think that kind of went away many years ago. But I received this box from We Bleed FPV, by the way. I do know that part because it was on the outside. And I did look in the top section, but I thought we'd just kind of go through it. It might be kind of a fun thing to go back in history for those that you remember those unboxings or mail bag sort of things. But I'm just going to go through things. I do have the FPV, or excuse me, the WeBleedFPV.com website up so I could look at pricing and show you those things. Yeah. Or at least some of them. I'm on the new arrivals section. Got a case. Oh, look at that. Clockwise and counterclockwise, or anti-clockwise, depending upon where you're at. Little printed case for your whoop props. If you're not familiar with We Bleed FPV, they're microcentric, so you're going to find mostly whoop stuff. They might have a smattering of, smaller open prop stuff, but for the most part, I think you'll find where most of the products are whoop based. Let me see if this is a quick scroll on here. Well, I don't see it in the new arrivals section. Let me go to the next page here just by chance. No, I'm not seeing it in that particular section, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time looking, but, most people have, a good number of people have a 3D printer. I actually got rid of mine because I was not using it, and I gave it to my brother-in-law. He has young kids that are very interested in 3D printing, even though it's a very old printer. I thought it would help them get started. This I did see, and I think this is fairly interesting. What do they call this thing? The prop drop. Kind of shaped like a drop or something. It unscrews, and it's a prop popper. A pinless prop popper, so you don't have to line up the pin. You just get underneath the prop, and then you pop it up. I haven't used this yet. 3D printed with kind of a metal centerpiece, and then this piece over here is metal as well. I think one thing I have experienced on these metal bits is the hook. If you get your prop all the way down, sometimes you still have to use your fingers and kind of twist and pull, holding onto the motor belt with one fingertip or two fingers, and then pull the prop to get that underneath. Because if you got it all the way down, which is normally where mine are at, these don't necessarily work without getting a little bit, a couple of millimeter underneath. But prop drop, that doesn't roll off my tongue. I presume this is for goggles. A 3-to-1. Is this a switch? No, it's not a switch. Maybe I will have to look up what it says on the website and put that in here, what this is. Maybe it's because you've got a goggle battery, and then you've got your goggles, and then you've got a VRX. What would the other one be for? The third? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. We got some batteries, some new batteries. It doesn't really say on the outside. It says quantity for 340 milliamp hour. Let's get out a cutting tool and see what they look like on the inside. All right, so here we go. Little look. No cap. No cap. Meaning on the battery, there's no plastic bit. It's got a battery lead. Like a traditional, neatly packaged in a little 4. So some new batteries, supposedly 340 milliamp. So maybe a little more runtime. We Bleed FPV also has some like 465s that are crazy long, and I've had those on the channel before. So if you like whoops and you've got a battery tray that typically fits something in the 300 milliamp hour category like these, and you want the longest flight time you can, or at least the most battery you can in that format, We Bleed FPV has some 465s, and they're long. It sticks way out the front of the whoop. It's kind of a funny thing. So 2 boxes of those batteries. Now we're going to get into some interesting smaller bits. I might have to adjust my glasses here. And this comes at a really good... They're a whole bunch of different stick ends. Here on the front. This says Forge on the side I'm looking at. So Forge M3. And this comes at a really good time, stick ends, to try out, because I recently broke this one. I did a repair on it, and then I just tightly wound some electrical tape. These are the stick ends I've been using for quite a while. I think these actually came from Get FPV or We Bleed FPV. No, not We Bleed. TinyWhoop.com. Look how loose my throttle stick is. That's how I like it. We all have our preferences. That's one of mine. So we have, let's see, this is a Forge. Did I just, okay, I already looked at that one. So Forge. This one says Legacy. Kind of a ball. I would still see if a hybrid or a pincher would want something like that. Oh, here's a big fat one. What's this one say? Disc. So a disc on this side, and then you get a little better view of just how big and flat that thing is. So that would be for a big old thumb. Summit. Oh, okay. So the disc one here, this is recessed. I don't know how well it's going to come through camera, but this part kind of sinks down. And then Summit, which looks to be about the same size, it sticks up and it's rounded. Hopefully that comes through in camera. So different sort of thumb. I believe they would all be for thumbers. Let's see. We got this one's just called Dent, so it's not as big. Kind of a mushroom head sort of thing. This one's called Vertex. Vertex. Kind of another different sort of shape. I know in the plastic it's hard to see, and the camera wants to focus on my face because it sees my eyes. Legacy, we already looked at Legacy. Yeah, got another one, Legacy. Legacy M4, so M3 and M4 sizes. You know, you got to look up your radio. Spire, which is just a ball. A little hole in the top. Does it say what these are made of? What kind of print? Are these a resin? I presume they're a resin print, but what's the material? It does say special edition right up there. Special. Okay, Spire. Vertex, we looked at that one. This is an interesting one, at least for me as a pincher. This one's called Prime. So it's got a ball head, and then it gets narrow, and it's got spikies down here at the narrow part, too. That's an interesting one. I haven't seen one like that. I gotta found a second Prime. Forge. See, now Forge looks a lot like... Oh, we did Forge already. Okay, so we did Forge. No wonder it looked like the other Forge that I have. And an M4. Let's see. Oh, here's Apex, which is a lot like one that I think we had out Axis. Just thicker. So this would be more similar to the one that I broke, and this would be a much thicker if you like the thicker ends. I wonder how much these are. So I just found the batteries. They're $21.99 for the 340s. And the printed Whoop Store box is $5.49. You don't have to go look if you're not interested. You know, if those prices aren't within what you think you would want to spend on something like you're seeing coming out of this box. Oh, they do have another prop popper that's kind of got a three-prong sort of removal. Where are these? I'm going to have to search for it because there's so many pages. It's stick ends. Okay, so it took me a bit to finally find those. So they don't, if you search stick ends, it doesn't really come up. So even though stick grips or stick ends is right up here, so they spelled a little bit uniquely, and the shape, initially when I saw this, I did not think this was the right one, but they've kind of listed them all under one. So you kind of scroll through and look at the different varieties that they have in here. I think Spire was one. No, which one was that I was most interested in here? Oh, Forge. Forge is, I think, close to what I have been using. So they have 200 in stock, $8.99. Does this say what it's made of? Oh, you can even sold as singles, so they're one each. So don't think you get a pair. Keep that in mind. Yeah, they make it real big and clear right there. Well, it doesn't say what the material is, but at the very least, we did find out the price are about... It's about $20 for a set, you know, because you're going to want two, right? And you can get, looks like I've got a full cadre of M3 and M4s in here, which of course I don't need. So stay tuned for these to be in some sort of a giveaway, because I've only got two hands, and I have a certain preference for one particular kind of stick end. I kind of like the, like the Forge, but this is an M4. Forge. This is the one I'm kind of looking at. Or the Axis is another one I'm looking at. The Axis is a little bit smaller. It looks like, as far as height goes, these two are about the same. So that's a little bit of benefit we can get from this sort of format. I definitely wouldn't use these because that's for thumbing. Every once in a while, I try to thumb for fun. I'm really bad at it now. I started out thumbing, for those of you that don't know, and then I switched to kind of a hybrid pinch or whatever it is, where I kind of have both fingers kind of on, one on the thumb on top and the index finger in front, I think is kind of how I hold it. Let me get my radio out. Yeah, thumbs on top, then the index finger in front. That's kind of how I hold them. And then I got stuck at thumbing because I wasn't improving very much. So I switched over, and within a relatively short period of time, I had myself progressing again. Another case of different colors for those prop guards that we started off with the black one. Whoa. Well, if I have a bunch of accidents, these are Band-Aids. We Bleed FPV branded Band-Aids for all those prop cuts you might get. And, okay, let's see. This is ridiculous. All right, Zotac must be worried about my sticker pile because I have got, that was upside down. Oh, I got 6 stickers. These are pretty sweet. Get the glare off of there, off of my face too. iGal 6. Hopefully you're doing iGal 6. More iGal 6, but a bigger version. iGal 6. Who's this artwork by? Kudos to who did the artwork. You know, I have an appreciation for that because I'm very good at drawing straight line things like cubes, almost like architecture. But I have like no creativity when it comes to this. Probably why my freestyle isn't very good either, because I don't have any creativity. I think very linearly, but that's why I worked in IT for so long, probably because of the way I think. But I have got a smattering of stickers now for future giveaways, which they have furnished a bunch of stick ends that we will have to find a way to give away. So stay tuned for that. In the moment, I didn't think about that. I guess I could have been a bit more organized and just done the giveaway in this video. I think the most interesting thing is the prop drop. The unscrewing 3D printed prop drop. Boom, 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 boom. That's a fun little thing. It does sit like, you can't see it obviously, but it has a flat spot. And if you remember the Weeble Wobbles from way back in the 70s, when I was a kid, I think if you just kind of put it on your desk, oh, no, it won't upright. I kind of thought it would. It kind of does to a certain degree, but it's still got that flat spot. But the batteries, I think that's fairly interesting. New milliamp size. Of course, I haven't confirmed that. I just got them out of the box with the power lead. That may be something if you're looking at flight time. But again, they have the I think it's 465s, which are really long. So if you really want flight time out of your whoop, that is an option. And some cool iGal 6 stickers. Hopefully everyone in iGal is enjoying their time and learning lots of fun stuff and meeting new people and fresh faces. I do have a whoop video coming up that I was actually going to finish up the flying on today, but we had high wind warning all day and big storms come through the last 2 or 3 days. Thankfully, we had a nice weekend. It was high school graduation weekend here in my town, and my oldest daughter, she graduated from high school, so we had a real nice time. The pool wasn't really nice because, unfortunately, we just got it opened, and the chemicals, hadn't taken doing its thing. So it was a little bit, I would call it aqua and not clear colored water. Some of the younger kids just jumped right in though, but I know that my wife and I weren't really thrilled about the state of the pool. But that's just a little personal note if you wanted to stick around to the very end. I do have one of the Cadex GT2s. The problem that I have had so far is this thing is tall enough. I don't have anything that I can mount it. I ordered some additional standoffs for a 3.5-inch quad that I have, not the Darwin FPV that I just. It's a Avion RC quad that has a tail section that's completely empty that I thought this would be a good fit for. And the standoffs that I ordered came in, and even though they're supposed to be 4 millimeters longer than by measurement, they came in the exact same size. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm sure Cadix won't be happy because I've had this for too long, and these companies always make a video, make a video. I don't even know what I'd make a video about yet. Can't use it. It's too big. I know it's loud because I had it plugged into a power supply. And the fan really pushes a lot of air, or at least it sounds like it. Anyhow, I've gone on too long. I know I haven't been posting a ton of content. I don't tend to try to find filler content in order to keep people coming back to the channel, but I thought this would be kind of a fun thing, and I was surprised. Not a flex, by the way. I'm always kind of sensitive to that sort of stuff because if any of you know my backstory, I grew up after my parents got divorced when I was about 4 or 5. I grew up pretty poor. We lived in Section 8 housing, soup kitchens. Technically didn't eat the soup kitchen. Me and my sister's 5 years older than me, we would walk to the soup kitchen in the summertime in this little town that we grew up in the country, and kind of country. And the people inside scared me, so I wouldn't go in. And of course, my sister wasn't allowed to bring me any food outside because, you know, they're there to serve people, not to let people hoard up a bunch of food and take it out. So I didn't understand it then, but I get it now. So I sat on the curb until my sister got done eating, and then we'd walk back home. So, you know, I've never had a lot of wants in my life. I just kind of always wanted to have the baseline met. I've lived much more luxuriously than I ever envisioned growing up. So when I think about this YouTube stuff and what companies do send, I'm always kind of in the back of my mind remembering, that this is a very unique and for me a little bit of an awkward situation where companies send this stuff to you for the purpose of me making a video and them getting some free marketing. Technically, it's not free, but that's how this is gone. It's how much of the YouTube space I think goes. But I've gone on too long. Hopefully that was kind of a little fun throwback. Wanted to have a little discussion, and my light just went off, so that's definitely it for this particular video. If you're interested in anything I showed here, as well as micro products in general, go to WeBleedFPV.com. They support the community. They're iGao 6 sponsors. I'm sure they sponsor all sorts of whoop racing events. Zotek might be the owner. Well, I know he's the owner, but he might be the sole proprietor. He might have someone who's now filling orders. I think they were filling orders out of his basement for many years. So that's another kind of grassroots company that you can support if you choose to. It is U.S. based, so our friends that are outside of the U.S., you might find shipping is prohibitive, but check it out. If they got a product you can't get anywhere else, gotta pay what you gotta pay, right? All right, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.